That's not Dada. Hey? Who's that?
Dada.
That's not Dada. You need to get your eyes checked. Hey? Oh, what happened there? Oh my God. Oh, Ace Ventura.
It's always good coming to these liquidation auctions.
Yeah.
Because
he thinks Dane's lows me.
It is Friday morning and I was meant to be going to Abersock this morning. However, I thought I was going to Abersock this morning. However, miscommunication with Rachel and we're going after work, so I've told the lads that I'm not in today and I've given them all jobs and whatever else, but I am actually in, so good, because I can get a bit of money towards the yard, or to pay for Abersock, probably more likely. But yeah, I told the lads that are wearing, so let's creep up on the lads and see who still comes in on time and who still works hard whilst they think I'm not in. Let's see if anyone checks in and then goes to the shop for a breakfast. Yeah, I'm joking there. But yeah, so today obviously we're just on that rip out job while Ben's away and Mick's away. I don't know. I need to speak to Mick actually, so I thought he was here. I can't remember whether he was back in this Monday or next Monday. But yeah, to do with more multi-skilled lads, because days like today where we can't really have anyone on the other student job because we haven't got a bricklayer. And although we obviously try and teach the lads how to do everything, I suppose I could go there with one of them and do it, but it's easier having everyone on one job, especially with the vans. So hopefully we'll have that non-recycling tipper filled now and we can take that to Oldham Brothers, and then it'll be probably another wood one. There is some wood that I said I was going to put in ton bags for someone who watches the YouTube. Said he wants it for his dad for the log burner, but I've just got to make sure it's like good wood. So I was going to get them, you know, the hardwood joists and stuff that we normally get rid of. So I think, yeah, we've took them to the yard, so I'm going to chop them up, but I just haven't got a ton bag spare, so I said I'd give them 2 ton bags of wood, but yeah, as soon as we finish some of these sandbags, I'll take them. And then I was wondering whether to order some Bowden Builders bags or just wait. And then I was thinking, do a change, you know, considering what's gone on with planning and whatever else, and like, do I change the name from Bowden Builders Merchants to Bowden Builders? Because, you know, it's technically not going to be a merchant's, or do I keep it and just confuse everyone? I think, oh yeah, the Bowden Builders Merchants, oh no, we're not. And when someone phones up, every time we answer, go, yeah, we're not a merchant, sorry, it's a, I don't know. Or do we push for a DIY shop and keep the name Bowden Builders Merchants? I don't really want a DIY shop specifically, so it's just a bit of another branch to the company's tree. If we could do that, it'd be good, but they say we'll only do what we're allowed to do. I find it weird with planning, because it's not like they don't advise you, so they're not like an advising service, they're like obviously like a yes and no service, so you have to keep proposing stuff and then they'll say. But then I suppose they do advise on some stuff, so obviously they've advised yesterday that they want the fence I emailed planning after that person drove past and was obviously shouting at me. I thought, let me use this as an example to planning that, look, we do need a fence, and planning come back and said that they'd prefer a paladin fence so that you can see through. And I was a bit like, I just don't understand that. I don't think anybody wants to see into my yard. But I get where she's coming from, in the sense that she's saying, well, if you have a see-through fence, it makes the area feel open plan, or like more open. But it won't, because we'll have something like, there was sheds behind the fence last time, and the fence you couldn't see through. So I replied to that and said, well, the previous fence you couldn't see anything. And she said, well, you know, it should have been that the fence was like that, and because it wasn't previously doesn't mean that obviously it shouldn't be now. But I'm pretty sure most builders' yard don't have a see-through fence, but I don't know, I might be wrong. Maybe that's the guidance they've got from whatever you call not the guiding notes, but the protocols that plan and go off. Maybe that's part of it, that they want everything to look open and see-through and bigger and not closed off. And I also got an email yesterday that weirdly it was sent to the planning consultants who emailed it to me, and then it was also hand delivered to my accountant's office, which is obviously the address for the company, and they've like hand delivered it because it was wrote on the same day. So as of yesterday, the council have put tree protection orders on just the trees in front of the builder's yard. And you think, but no other trees in the street have got TPOs on them, just the trees in front of the builder's yard. I don't know if they're trying to use that as an excuse to refuse the planning, on the basis that they've already mentioned that the proposed building could damage the roots of the trees. However, we've had a engineer design the drawings to show that you could pile every 3 or so meters, and then obviously span above the existing floor. So the existing floor is going to stay in as is, and only piles are going to go through, and then obviously the floor will basically float above the existing floor on these pile stilts. So that way, you know, the tree can still have roots, they can grow as if the building wasn't there. So that sort of answers that question, but whether that's enough, or I don't know whether they're doing it so that because of this, what's gone on with, I've applied to the council for over a year to have them cut back, and then they come back and they said, like, you can cut this back at any point, you know, like it's not a protected tree, you can just cut it back on your boundary. So obviously we did that with the council when they were there, following their guidance. But now it's come back, and it's as if I've been cutting the tree down and potentially killing it and damaging it and whatever else. And I haven't, do you know what I mean? I've just done it. I've actually waited a year to do it, and then obviously the council have come out and said, well, you know, you can cut this back at any time. It's on your land. You're allowed to cut it back to the border. But yeah, I'm sort of being villainised for cutting tree branches back now. So I don't know whether they've done it because of that, or whether they just want to protect the tree from like future being cut back. But it's all cut back now, so I don't understand what, you know, it doesn't make any difference to me if they made that tree like whatever. Because they give you an option to object to it, but I mean, I've got no objection to that being a protected tree, because it's, you know, it doesn't affect our plans at all. As long as they don't then use it as an excuse for the planning permission. But yeah, we'll have to see about that. It just seems a bit like they're moving the goalposts again, and it's all after, or like retrofitting something to suit what decision they wanna go with. But hopefully they come back with this meeting and we can go in, speak to them, and hopefully, you know, we can come to an agreement on the building. That, because obviously the building is for the benefit of everyone. Like, obviously it's better for me that everything's hidden away and locked up, and then it's better for the neighbours and anyone driving past that they see like a nice steel shed rather than looking through to see a digger, a forklift, pallets of brick, like scaffolding. It's like, I don't see the benefit of that. But yeah, we'll just have to stay tuned and see what they come back with next. But yeah, I'm happy that the DVSA inspection hopefully went well yesterday, because, you know, we put a lot of work in to get that clean and tidy and flat, and obviously the come was just like, yeah, like this looks fine. Yeah, I've got a bit hay fever now as well. Yeah, let's see what happens next. So we've got there wasn't much to salvage on this one. A couple of lads have got stuff, but we'll keep the kettle. We're going to take the telly to the office, the microwave, the oven's no good, the fridge they're going to keep as a spare, and what was the other thing? Oh, and that looks fairly new, so we're going to keep that as a spare as well, especially because it's integrated. So I'm going to take these bits off now carefully, and then I'm going to take them in the office, and then even this door I'm going to keep that. I'll take that to the yard, because there'll be somewhere we can reuse that. So even like when I built the utility hut for the yard, we could have used that. And even the windows are okay. The windows are fairly new. I can't see from here, but sometimes you can see a date on the inside of when they were done. But I can't on this one. Yeah, everything else in here is going. Kitchen's no good, it's got bits of water damage, etc. Hob's not really any good. And then you can see this bit, so we actually did next door. So we did the student house next door, and see, so this will have obviously the same layout as that, but we had to pile that extension. And I'll show you why. Because when we come this side, see the big crack? There's a crack there. There's a crack there. There's a crack there. And there, so you can just see this whole back of the... I'm stood in here now and it's all tilting this way. You can see all the cracks here. So we pretty much know that this extension's going to need piling. So I need to hurry up and buy a piling machine really, don't I? We do get a lot of wood out of these jobs, but today's choice, maybe I can cut up and put in a ton bag for someone, and then I'm going to disconnect this boiler, because again, it's not new, but I can't see the date on it. Whoever's installed it hasn't actually put a date on it, which is handy, but yeah, I'll disconnect that carefully, because obviously we know that was working before we started. So someone somewhere might need that or reuse it, or we could use it on the yard thing if we needed it for something. But yeah, it's worth keeping. So I'm just going to disconnect all this stuff now while the lads are ripping hell out of everything else. So this is the setup we've got on this house. Not sure about that. But we'll test out okay. Obviously this is a newer board than we'd normally get. It's got a metal thing, however obviously everything's updated since this, so we won't be able to reuse this board, but we might be able to take it off and I'll use it as parts for any call outs or anything. But what I'm going to do now is I am going through, as always, disconnecting everything, and then I'm just going to connect one socket that's in this cupboard, and that way the lads know that they can pull, rip, cut any cables they find because it's all off. Same with the gas, but I'm going to go and disconnect the boiler now, so you don't have to worry about that one. But yeah, I'll come back and show you once we've got one socket screwed to the wall somewhere. So as you can see, the only one that'll be in obviously is this 16 amp one socket. So lads will just plug into here with an extension lead, and now they know that there's nothing else that's connected to power in this house. So I can put this board back on and fire this up now, and then what I'll do is I'll do an RCD test on this to make sure that if the lads do cut through a wire on the extension lead or anything they're using, that this is tripping in the right time. So we've not even been here an hour, and already everyone's asked about, hey, that oven's not going on here. That's getting bin, put the telly in the front seat, yeah. Already 15 minutes, 2 people have asked about the free the telly and the washing machine. So I'm going to hurry up and take that back to the office because I can't be asked with someone pestering us all the time about it. And I've got my tester out now. So before we use this socket, I'm going to test that. So I'll put this onto RCD and get me leads out. Just leave it in the metal pile. Plug my leads in, and one sec. And for those who don't know, so all I'm bothered about is that this trips in 30 milliseconds, which is milliamps, which is 0.3 seconds, because 0.4 seconds of electric shock, you're dead. So what it does is it tests it in half the fault power, and it shouldn't trip. So obviously you'll see 0 and 180, 0, 180, 0, 180, because there's alternating current. It tests it at either end of the alternating current, because it could have a higher spike or a lower spike in like the positive or negative side of the alternating current. But let's go ahead and make sure that's on. Everything else is on. Everything's on. Just that. So it should nothing, and then basically this RCD should trip this one here. There we go. And then I'll put it back up, and it'll keep testing. It'll trip again, and then it should trip 2 more times. One more. There we go, and then that should be it now. So we should results for these. So see that one, 33 milliseconds, 23, 15, 19. So they're all right. I'm just, like I say, there's a difference between the one end and the other end. See how these numbers slightly differ. So if you touched it as it was on the downward part of the alternating current, it's taking longer on the 5 times, and obviously longer on the upward. And this one's saying that hasn't tripped, which is right. So I'll just run it again, because obviously I'm going to try and get less than 40 is our aim, so that's good. 33 is okay, but it is a 30 millisecond one, so that's the same, yeah. And it's such a short distance from obviously this socket to the board that you'd expect it to be sort of as low as possible. There you go. But yeah, got the same result, so that's fine. At least we know this is going to trip in less than 0.4 seconds. So if the lads do go through a cable or on the extension lead, that is. So I could test it again at the end of the extension lead. However, you know, I'm happy with that. You'll get somewhere they just don't trip at all, and obviously they're the ones that you need to worry about. So next on the cards is the gas. So I'll probably just cut it here, so it's less likely to get crap in it, and then just tape it up. But yeah, obviously it's turned off anyway when the lads have come in. And then if I disconnect it here, the lads know then that everything is off. You alright, mate? No, they're going here. They're going in the office. No, they're going back to the office. No worries. I'll give you a shout if there's any. No worries. Right, I'm just gonna go and get a 22mm cover. So there's another. I say, the quicker I get this back to the office, the better, because honestly, they're like hounds around here. They see something. So I've just been to my box that didn't have a 22mm stop end, so I've just taped it up for now. And then I'll go and disconnect the boiler now. So while I'm at the front door, I thought I'd check for the water main, and if anyone can tell me why. Yeah, so why do you reckon this is double board? Yeah, but why have they got normal floorboards here? Why is this bit sunken down?
Have to be raised up.
This has been raised up. They put like new floorboards over it. But do you know why it was lower than the rest?
No.
For a doormat.
For what?
For a doormat.
Well, they used to recess them inside.
Yeah, they used to recess the doormat, yeah. But I've just found the water main there, which is good. So they've I'm guessing that's lead, and they've literally foamed around it. So I'm going to assume they've done a lead connection here, and they didn't want it to move, so they've yeah, there we go. So I'm guessing this side will be lead. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, that's 15mm there, so that bit's lead. I think they've just covered this to protect it. I'm hoping they haven't done this to waterproof it. There you go, so that's water off now. So what I can do is I can cut it here, or I can swap this for an elbow and just bring the water up here, so whatever water's left in the system now should come out of here, as long as this stop tap's working. So it should come out slowly. There you go. So what I could do is I could put an elbow on here and just bring the water up by the front door, and then that is gas, electric, water, everything by the front door, everything else can be disconnected then. So what I've done is we've got lead to copper to this stop tap. So open this stop tap fully and then always turn it back a quarter turn. Never open your stop tap fully because it seizes in position then. And then we go into 25mm, and what I've done is I've just brought it up by the front door, and I've gone for the 25mm to 15mm. Seems stupid, obviously we could have just come 15mm there, but I think eventually they will put a 25mm back to the thing, and it's got an old stop tap, so that's lead. If that was like a new stop tap, they'd have a 25mm connection with a lead here that we could, obviously if we're doing stuff to here, we could excavate, and United Utilities normally leave a metre of 25mm, but sometimes obviously they just do it straight away. But yeah, I've left this as is now, and hopefully if we need it, there you go. We've got water by the front door, so we've got water, gas is off, electric socket there, everything in this house now can come out. Wow, let's go and get this boiler done. So I've just started to take this off, and when you know it, the 25mm comes here and then changes to a 15mm. So I could have just disconnected this and used that by the front door, but same. I'll take that off and put it in my bag for spares on the next house maybe. So now we're just going to disconnect. You obviously got your flow and return either side and 22mm. You've got your gas in the centre, and then you've got hot and cold. So you know which one's the cold because it's got a filling loop next to it. So this filling loop goes from the cold water. So obviously your cold water's got pressure from the mains, and that's what we use to top up the central heating side. So what a lot of people get confused with is that when you're heating, pressure goes low, your hot water goes off, and people think because of that they're somehow interlinked. However, they're not. If you forget these two pipes here, you're central heating. If this was just heating hot water, you've got gas that obviously for the boiler to heat it up. You've got hot water there, and you've got cold water in. So cold water comes in, goes through the immersion, whatever, I can't remember what it's called now, the transfer unit, and then obviously the flame heats it up and hot water comes out the other side. That's it. And then it's called a combination boiler because it combines hot water and your central heating. So it also heats up your central heating. However, if you can see here, the only thing that joins the central heating and the water is this loop, which is obviously closed off. So this, as you obviously turn this, the pressure that's in the mains in the street that's coming through. So if we follow this pipe now, look, come down, and it goes, oh look, there's the pipe that's just come from the street. So that water comes through the mains, comes in and goes in, and you can top up this pipe. And if we follow this pipe, all that does is just go into there. So from here, it goes into the boiler and back out on this one. But obviously, whatever comes out is going to come out hot. So that'll be your flow. And that'll go to your one side of your radiator. And then the other side of the radiator come back here, a bit cooler than what that side is. But yeah, so that system's totally separate to your hot water and cold water. Other than we just use the pressure from the cold water to pressurise this pipe. Because pressured water moves around quicker. It uses less energy. So that's all that is. But yeah, we're just going to disconnect these from here. And then that way, we've got everything. Well, it won't get damaged in transit. Sometimes you'll see people like cut the pipes because it might be quicker for them. But these are standard nuts. Sometimes you can get obviously specific ones. But we'll just disconnect all these now. So you see that is the hot water. And then if I get this one off now. So this one, unless the lads have done the pressure, oh, it's not on to see the pressure, but I just thought to say, if this one's still pressurised, this should like come out with a bit more vengeance than the others, unless the lads have already. There you go. So that will, that's the pressure I was on about that comes from, comes from the cold water, but eventually that will stop. That's why you only get a leak for so long on your radiators, because it needs topping up again. So if I try and bend that out, no, it seems to have, I'd expect it to be more than that, to be fair. So I can't bend this pipe out enough to get that out. Sorry, it's hard to do this with and film and all the spanner. But yeah, let's try and there we go. I say we don't need any of this pipe work, so that'll all be getting. This will all be getting scrapped. There we again, the same will be that side. So this way now we can disconnect this boiler completely, and then I'll be able to hook it up with nothing connected then. But yeah, I was remember first time looking underneath a boiler thinking, oh bloody hell, that's daunting. So what'll happen now is, if I open this side, it might make the water come out of that side a bit quicker. Because you're allowing air in, but not always. There you go, that's it. And then this is the condensation pipe. So obviously we're heating stuff up, and you will get condensation, which is acidic. So they changed the regs a while ago, yeah. That has to go into a drain. So you'll see that one is the condensation pipe that goes into the drain. They used to just leave them out the wall, and what you'd see is like a really acidic stain on the walls. You'd see like a really brown thingy. This one is the emergency pipe. So you'll see that one come. I'll go and disconnect that now. So what that's there for is, let's just say that something went wrong and you left the mains water pressure going into the boiler, and you had like a high water mains pressure. If it's too much for the boiler to handle, these boilers are quite clever. They will recognise that and switch it on, and it'll discharge the water, the pressure, out. So that's why you'll see it come and obviously loop back into the wall, because you don't want boiling hot water spraying out onto people. And then obviously you've got the thermostat, which we'll just cut them out now because they'll be one will go to the thermostat in the room, and then obviously this will be the receiver. But yeah, that's it. I'll be able to hook this off in a minute. I just missed that. Water's just come flying out of here, which you can see is the hot. You ready for this? Have one of you just opened the hot tap? Have one of you just opened the tap in the bathroom? Yeah, you just soaked me. I should have preempted that happening and maybe bent these away. That one's literally facing me as I was trying to undo it then. But yeah, open it up again, Joe. Open it up, yeah. Turn it on again, yeah. Do the cold as well. So if they turn them on now, you can hear something trying to come out, but maybe it's just, maybe that was all of it. Because it's only on a short run, it's from there to obviously the bathroom. Is that it, is it? What? Are they both open? Both of them are open, yeah. Yeah, no worries, go on. So I'm just on the outside now, I'm just going to disconnect the flue. However, I've just noticed that they've put a flue extension on. The reason they've done that is because obviously the flue coming out here, if they had this window open, there's a chance obviously the carbon monoxide would go in there, and if everyone was sat in there and this was just pumping in there non-stop, you know, carbon monoxide poisoning can kill. So they put a flue extension on. However, they put a flue extension on right next to that window, so again, that wouldn't have, not ideal, that wouldn't have passed thingy. So I'm just going to disconnect this one now and hopefully keep that flue. I'll probably keep both in case, but... So I say I've got the flue disconnected now, and what you'll see is you've got obviously the flue, and then inside is like a sealed plastic pipe inside the flue. So the fumes from the boiler actually come out through this one. However, you know, the boiler needs oxygen obviously to burn, so it gets obviously clean air through this bit. That's why obviously as it goes out, that bit will be longer than obviously the clean air that's getting sucked back in. But yeah, just that, I've disconnected that, but I can probably leave that on now, because I don't want to lose any bits really, because there's no point keeping this if there's like a couple of bits that cost money, like if you do lose them, and sort of like then you start, you can pay like, you know, 35-40 quid for an elbow or something, you know, underneath the boiler that you obviously might not have needed. Where's that hole? But yeah, I'd say this should be ready to hook off, and then obviously the only thing we need to get then is the brackets on the wall. So we're just going to take the non-recycling, so we took the wood one the other day, that's now empty, so the lads are going to start filling that again with wood. And we're going to go and get rid of this one. So yeah, net on, but we should put the mattress on last because it holds everything in place then. And then, Lou, just try and brush this front up out when we pull away. Especially, look, screws, just check now, there's no screws on that side. The screws are the worst. No screws there. But yeah, just brush that up so that we keep everything tidy. So we're just here at Oldham Brothers, so I've took the net off, we're just waiting for the go-ahead. So when these lorries are done, we'll go down the end tip, and then obviously they go through and pick through it then, and obviously recycle as much as they can. And that back wall, you can see that's the non-recycling, so that gets all left. And then they'll have a big hook loader that gets filled and goes obviously to either landfill or to a different recycling centre. And the same with the wood and the hardcore and soil etc. goes to Grundy's where they've done the tour. So hopefully it won't be long until we get this tipped and we can go. Cool. How'd you pronounce that? Two cocking. Tie cocking. Hey, look what it's got, Rach. They don't work. I bet you weren't expecting that to turn around and see that. What's this? One of the top 10 beaches in the world. Can't get many people on it, can you? Imagine living here. Excuse me. Hello. You gonna get out?